the venture that you have, the Black History Month. Okay, explain what it is.
Okay, so we are in January opening a show for Black History Month.
Okay.
So it'll run through February, and it is exploring or honoring, celebrating Black History Month through art. So Faithe is one of the artists. She's actually going to be one of my premier artists on the postcard and all the press releases and all that good stuff with one of her pieces of art. And we're just getting the word out about the call for entries that goes until the 19th of December.
All righty. And so as I'm riding down the street minding my business, I see a license plate and it says Mosaic. Clearly, that's Jenni. I know it is. I know how she rocks. So, Bam, what is your specialty?
Oh, mine.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, we know Jenni's is mosaic.
And we know it. That's what her license plate says.
So I do mainly acrylic on canvas, but I also do wearable art. I'm wearing a pair of my leopard pants that I painted today. So I have about 4 areas that I paint. I paint florals and cityscapes. I paint abstract, and I've been doing a lot of folk artish figures.
So when you start, you were always that kid who was drawing. That was you?
I actually
Shocking.
my mother was a teacher. So starting around 4th grade, she had me doing her bulletin boards, and that's when we kind of found out that
you had something there.
Yeah, I had something. So but I have never had a real art class other than the requisite high school art class.
Okay, so when you start, like Jenni, your thing is mosaic. What was your thing? And when you get your thing, how do you go from cityscape to pants? So and the reason I say that is because creators are different.
Yeah.
Creators are, and so my youngest son is a creative, and that was everything from dancing to calligraphy. It's a different type.
Yeah, so I'm a creative. I craft. I used to craft. I used to do floral designs and centerpieces for different organizations. So I just have I create food. Like I'll never use a recipe. I use it only for the fundamentals of what has to go in, and then I always tweak it or move it around. So yeah, I'm just a creative. So what happened was
exactly.
I started painting really for my sister. I had to stay with her one summer in DC when I was at Howard, and to just thank her, I did a painting.
Oh, shout out to she spent a lot of time up on Georgia Avenue.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That McDonald's there.
Yes.
Late at night. Let me tell you. Yeah, a whole bunch of it.
I wound up staying in DC 15 years, so I really know DC. I grew up in DC. I really call that my second home because that's where I really, became an adult in Washington. But
remember back in, I'm sorry. You remember back in the day they had like Colgates and
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So Jenni, these were the clubs. So these were the clubs right down by the water, and everybody who was anybody who wanted to be somebody were at those clubs.
The Gangplank.
Oh yeah, Phillips was down there.
Yeah, but it was such a funny thing because you show up and it'd be everybody, and then the next week you go and it was nobody because the crowd had just shifted to the next place.
It was different because everybody came from. So it's like what Richmond has turned into now. When I came here in 2014, but I'm not from here, and now it seems like I've been here forever because people who came here 2019, 2020, came after the pandemic. So the town seems to be changing, but it still is an artsy town. This town is why do you guys think it's so much of a creative?
VCU, the VMFA, and just the creativity that just comes, I think, from living where water runs through it. As well, I think you get creativity from being outside, and we got a lot of great outdoor spaces. I think it comes from a lot of different places.
So, Faithe, when you finish with a piece, is it done then, or are you always tweaking it, messing with it, going back and eyeballing it again?
Some of both. So I will work on a piece, and I really like to take pictures of the evolution of a piece. So I'll start with just the background, take a picture of that, and then bring in another thing. And I will start with something and it'll end up totally different, even while I'm actively in it. Then there are some people, and then I always say, I let the canvas tell me when it's done. And it's so funny because I can be looking at the canvas, but when I take a photograph of it and look at it from a photograph, I'll say, oh no, that perspective is off. I've got to, change that